this for like what, 4 or 5 years now. Now it's when like, okay, things are getting more real. It's like more realistic. Like, oh, you might gonna be put in this industry now. What are you gonna do with it?
Hi, I'm Marlene. I'm 22 and I'm a menswear designer here in New York City.
And I guess one important thing that I learned is the best relationship you could have is with yourself.
Right now I'm in the application process where I have to apply to companies, and it's not like we're like granted like people, designers' personal emails to like reach out to them like, hey, do you guys have any openings, like I don't know, like after June or something for this position? I do this, here's my portfolio. And it's like, you don't know what they're doing with the portfolio either. Some companies literally take your portfolio and they take everything that you've done and take it as their work. This happened to me.
I had a lot of failures throughout my career. I mean, that's, if anything, my first 3 years, that's what kind of was happening, which is why, once again, I was questioning the whole thing. Like, do I really want to do this at this point if I'm constantly being told that I ain't shit, basically, literally by my own mentors, you know?
Well, once senior year started, I already had like that winning mindset. I was like, you know what, this is my last year's last time for now to kind of just go hard, go in and really show people who I am.
So basically I start off with, sometimes I start off with making samples first, and then I make different variations of each garment after that. And then I like to usually go swatching afterwards to kind of give me a better idea of the weight of the fabrics and how the garment's gonna look. But my inspiration usually comes from music, so I kind of did this whole collection based on what I grew up into, listening to a lot of hip hop, New York City. So I kind of wanted to do an urban collection, definitely, and using the sounds that I would hear. And from there, that's when I started my process with some sketches. And I just make a lot of notes as far as like sizing and what kind of silhouettes I wanted to achieve. And from there, I usually like would draw over them and change whatever I had to change, or if any new ideas came about. I'm pretty much like a perfectionist. I'm always changing my mind. I'm always coming up with something or changing something that I originally started with until I feel it works.
I kind of want to represent all the kids that have dreams, and because of, you know, like especially me, like I'm not a privileged kid. I went to a school full of privileged kids who kind of can buy their way in and out to anything. And I just feel like with hard work and faith, especially I'm a big believer in God, I feel like that's the reason why I've made it this far. You can get anywhere that you want, so.
It is a process. You're always going back and forth with things. And I usually like to print out my work as I go. And I usually, you know, make sure that I experiment a lot with different textiles. I like to get really involved with the fabrics. And this is how I usually work. Always mix and matching to see what works, what doesn't work.
You know, life is pretty funny. One of my friends actually, he was interested to see like more of my work, my past work before I started doing my senior collection, and he came across my junior collection from fall. Yeah, from fall. And there was a specific pair of pants that I made for that collection. It was a jogger, but I reinvented like the bottom, like the way, you know how usually it's an elastic bottom, elastic cuff, but I made it where you had a two-way function. So it had a zipper and it had 2 snaps. And he was looking at them and he's like, wait, like this reminds me of something. And I'm like, So he was like, wait, I remember that Keith, like they just had like an article written about how they reinvented the jogger, and it's literally the same exact closure. But it's funny because I'm looking at the date that you posted these pictures, and that was a year ago. But you know, like it's funny because they're being acknowledged for it. You know what I mean? And you're basically ahead of your time. You thought about this before. You're not getting recognition for your work.
You would see me like not sleeping and pretty much having meltdowns all the time. It's like, oh, do you really want this? Is this like the life that you want to live? And it's like, if it's something that I wanted for this long, I might as well fight for it.
Because music is like my biggest, like it's my happy zone. You know what I mean? Like depending on what mood I'm in that day while I'm sewing, like it makes a huge impact on my work actually. Like you'd be surprised. Like kind of, I want to represent a guy who necessarily, like, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to be like super high end either, where it's unaffordable. You know what I mean? I want my guys to still look cool and be able to afford my clothing, and it's still different. You're still unique. You'll see it on the street, and you know it's me. So in the long run, I would definitely want to collaborate with designers once I, you know, kind of have my true brand identity, or once I'm more developed as an artist. Jerry Lorenzo is definitely one of those designers that I would definitely see myself collaborating in the near future. I love what he's about. I love the story behind how he got to where he got. He's still growing in general in the industry. I actually met him not too long ago. I gave him one of my pieces as a gift, and it was truly a really humbling experience, just for the fact that he actually listened to me. He was intrigued by my work, and just the fact that I used one of my pieces to literally give it to him because he has inspired me so much throughout my whole career. I always felt like my dreams were too big, you know? I always felt like maybe I'm dreaming too big, maybe I'm being too unrealistic, like things like this don't happen to people like me, you know? Because you see it all the time, you're like, oh, this person made it, but you're like, only so many people really make it. So, I mean, I don't know, like, it's hard to, I guess, stay strong and go by, like, stick by your dreams, but I feel like too many people settle. You know what I mean? And I feel like the one mistake people make is that they settle for something they don't even want to do. And it's like, no, don't do, like, go for it. Like, you don't know what doors are going to open for you. You'd be surprised. The first thing I want to hear people comment about regarding my name when they hear it would be just like, she made it.